Well, tonight we're mourning the loss of one of our own.
Glen Bacus passed away unexpectedly this morning after spending more than 2 decades as a part of her family here at KFDX and KJTL.
Josh Hoggard spoke with some of the people who knew Glen best and reflects on how Glen brightened the lives of everyone who knew him.
Our world at KFDX and KJTL got a little bit darker on Monday after the unexpected passing of Creative Services Director Glen Bacus.
Glen had a unique perspective, innovation, creativity, and just there's nobody else like him.
Ann Arnold Ogden worked with Glen when she was a reporter and anchor here at KFDX, remembering fondly some of the things that made Glen, Glen.
Glen had the most creative brain of anyone I've ever met. Innovative and creative and funny and kind and just one of a kind.
Glen Bacus first joined the team at KFDX and KJTL back in 2002, around the same time as Ben Coker.
Glen and I started at KFDX within a week of each other, maybe 2 weeks. So immediately I was a young reporter. He was a young news photographer, and we became fast friends. We were two guys trying to figure it out on our own. First jobs in TV.
It began a more than 20-year friendship between Glen and Ben, eventually finding they shared a passion for sports.
Me and Glen won back-to-back city softball championships. A lot of memories there on the softball field.
One of Glen's greatest loves was his teams from Boston, near where he grew up. The Bruins, the Celtics, and of course, the Red Sox and the Patriots.
Anytime the Patriots, the Red Sox were in a championship, I was at his apartment getting video of him reacting, celebrating.
Get in there! Oh my God! Yes! Yes! Oh my God!
Ben says one of his fondest memories with Glen was on a Friday night in 2010, when instead of going to shoot football like he still does to this day, Ben was sent to Game 6 of the ALCS when the Texas Rangers beat the Yankees, advancing to the World Series for the first time in team history.
What a night we had. You know, obviously as a Red Sox fan, he loved seeing the Yankees go down that night and striking out A-Rod. And then, of course, for me as a Rangers fan, we both had one amazing night.
But it was his passion for his work and his creativity that made Glen an irreplaceable member of the KFDX team.
At KFDX, some of the most legendary promos that have ever been made, especially around the holidays, were Glen's.
Glen's passion for his work earned him Employee of the Year honors in 2024. But perhaps his greatest passion, and one he'll always be remembered for, was his artwork. Ann says she and Glen continued working together well after her time at KFDX, with the Alliance for Arts and Culture leading to some of the most iconic artwork in the city of Wichita Falls.
He just loved creating new things and making this place beautiful, and adding a touch of whimsy, a touch of that pop modernistic style of his all over our community. From bright colors to crazy shapes to the little UFOs in each of his paintings.
He has the mural here. He has Daydream over at the Hamilton building. He has his horse over at Parkway Grill on Southwest Parkway. He painted the pillars on the parking garage. The legendary mural he did of downtown that became magnets and artwork for people to hang on the walls.
One of the things people may not know about him is that he was a huge fan of Prince. And when Prince died, he had this piece of Prince, and I believe that piece of art is actually hanging at the Paisley Park Museum right now, which is incredible. His reach was not just here locally.
But even with all the incredible things Glen accomplished, it's his kindness, compassion, and care for others that will never be forgotten.
I just help anybody, and we're so lucky to be in his orbit and have been part of his work and share his work and see his work. Yeah, truly talented and creative and wonderful.
And we're all going to miss Glen.
For sure.
It's cool that he'll always be remembered through any piece of his artwork, whether it's one of these magnets or which that magnet is we've had it in our windows.
Right, all day long, all newscasts.
Right here on the BAM. But any of his horses around town,
I know.
Just remember, you can remember
little semblances,
Glen.
Yeah, little semblances of Glen, and we're going to miss him around here. I'll miss him kind of coming in, creeping in as I'm doing my makeup and hair every day in the makeup room, saying, what you doing? You know, or coming in singing a tune and
always
just
good
having
for a check-in.
For sure, always had great little daily chats, and I'm going to miss that. It was weird today even not having it, so I know such a talented person, such a talented man, and we're all going to miss him very much around here in this building.